In a black box theatre with seating on 3 sides of the stage and a large dance floor, 2 dancers in jeans and white t-shirts, Tim and Chloe, stand on stage facing the back wall. They stand in the middle of the stage, Tim slightly in front of Chloe, further towards the back wall. Chloe lifts her right hand and circles it up and over her head. She turns to the front, reaching her right arm out to the left and lifting her leg. She twists to face the back wall again and touches her right hand to her left thigh. She crosses one leg over another, then lowers into a lunge to the She crosses one leg over another, then lowers into a lunge to the side, opening her arms wide. She crosses her arms behind her head, then steps around Tim while spinning her arms. She slides back beside Tim, and as she lowers her arm, Tim starts to move. He raises his right hand until it's perpendicular to the floor, then raises his other arm. He spins through to the front, extending his arm and moving it in circles, then spins round to face the back again. He walks towards the back wall, spinning his arm and drops his body, then turns to face the front next to Chloe. They move away from each other. Chloe crosses and uncrosses her arms in front of her face. They move back towards each other. Tim lifts his leg so it curls around Chloe's waist. Chloe spins off to the left across Tim. As Chloe faces the back wall, Tim pushes her head forwards and she lunges to the ground. Tim and Chloe both kneel. Chloe pushes Tim, who grabs her hand and leans back into her. She pushes him into a forwards roll. They stand and holding each other's hands, they tug each other backwards and forwards. Dancing in sync, they spin backwards, stop and shift their weight. They cross their arms over and back while taking a big step to the left. They spin around with their left leg bent at the knee. They lunge forward, left arm out, and they bring their right hand forward to hit it against their left palm, then place both their hands on their forehead. They step around each other, jump back into their original positions and slap their foreheads.
Let's just stop there.
It's a good start. So just a couple of things. So there are a few moments where the audio descriptions seem to be a little bit slower than the dance, and a few moments where the dance was a little bit faster than the audio description. So just if
you're out of time.
Yeah, sure. That's just sort of how audio description works. It's just that my words don't go as quickly as your movement, so sometimes it's just a bit out of sync.
So that's a really good point. So on words, so it felt like there were quite a lot of words. Some of them were quite long, and maybe there could be shorter words, maybe even less words.
It's fewer words, Tim.
Fewer words. So just because there are people here tonight and they've come to see dance, and if there are too many words, then they just,
boring.
Okay, well, I guess that description was quite literal, so maybe I could try something...
More emotion.
Right.
Yeah, like the feeling or the
colour.
Yeah.
Quality.
Okay. I can try and capture the mood of the piece.
Great. Yeah.
Let's try that.
Okay. Oh, just to let you know, if I do it a bit more figuratively, then it sort of goes through the filter of me, so it's a bit more interpretive. Is that?
Sure, it'll be fine.
Okay, great.
It's going to be fine.
Yeah, just jazz it up a bit. Okay. Two very attractive dancers, Tim and Chloe.
As dancers, sometimes, often we're objectified, which is quite tricky, and
That sounds awful.
it's quite challenging.
It must be quite difficult for you to understand.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Just maybe we can focus on the skill. Yeah, the skill of it.
Okay, sure.
We're technicians, highly skilled, physical technicians.
Yeah, we are creative movement artists.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just about, portraying us literally, Yeah.
Sure. Two highly skilled, creative, artiste, physical technicians stand facing the back wall. Chloe sweeps her arm around, creating a moon. Her right arm seems to pull her across the stage and she runs to catch up with it. She reclines, then lowers herself and spreads her arms out like wings. She steps around him, moving her arms like propellers, then slides in behind him, as if she's about to put her arm around his shoulders, but thinks better of it. Tim and Chloe glance at each other awkwardly. Tim moves. He circles his arm, creating only half a moon. He spins away from Chloe like a solar system from the centre of the... That's just what I see in the dance.
The solar system is lovely. It's just a bit.
Tim gestures to indicate something on a grand scale.
Grand. It's a little bit grand. It's a step and a turn and a step, and let's just tone it down a bit.
Tone it down a bit. Tim spins away from Chloe like a child's toy spinning top. It seems as if he's reined in, then he twists to face the back and swings his right arm like the arm of a clock that's been sped up to indicate time passing quickly. As he does so, he arcs round to join Chloe. They start to move like two nimble gazelles, becoming more languid as they go. Tim wraps his leg around Chloe sensuously and she spins away from him, uninterested. Annoyed, Tim pushes Chloe's head and she lunges down. Chloe badgers Tim, pushing him into a gymnastic tumble. Now standing, they grab each other's hands and stretch out until they're like a taut elastic band, then snap back the other way. They're both competing for attention. They stop and instead move together in agreement. Their movements become lighter and bouncier as they dance in sync. They slap one hand into another and then facepalm like they've made a mistake. They're drawn back to their original positions and facepalm again. It's difficult to tell whether they've made a mistake or that's the choreography.
That's the choreography.
I was just trying to capture the mood of the piece.
It was better. Yeah, it was better. It was quite good. So we just a few things. I noticed that you mentioned badges. Not sure of the relevance of that.
And there was a lot of subtext. You know, it's not a relationship here.
Well, one, Tim, badgers can be used as a verb as well as a noun. Two, Chloe, I only say what I see. It's all there in the dance.
Yes, it's there in the dance.
Let's carry on.
Tim and Chloe move in an arrhythmic staccato fashion, stretching their limbs and going around all over in the space. Chloe does a twist with her right hand on her left. Tim does a forwards roll on the wonk. And one of the Tim's at the front, Chloe's at the back. They're moving back and forth, and they dance.
Alice.
It's a little more complex than that. You know, there's the movement, there's the intention, there's the feeling, there's the energy. There's quite a lot. We've been working on it for quite a while.
Months.
Yeah.
Months been working on this. 21 years I've trained to be on this stage. Have you trained?
I've done this job for 9 years. I don't know what any of the moves are called.
Okay, well, we don't have to worry about that because it's contemporary dance. Yeah, it's of the now, and it's about movement invention.
Well, that's very helpful, Tim. Thank you.
Good. Yeah.
I mean, there was these some shapes you could have got. You know, like this one.
It's a great shape.
Right, so you want me to describe the shapes. You want me to describe what you're physically doing, literally, and capture the mood and the emotion and the tone, and where you are, and the layers, and how high you are, how low you are. There's too much. I can't get it all in. I can't do it. Tim shakes his head disapprovingly. You're all right, Tim. Why are you still shaking your head?
I don't know. Chloe, can you just...
Tim shakes his bottom. Tim shakes his head and his bottom.
Alice, what are you doing?
Alice, I'm not...
Chloe shakes her elbows. They turn to face each other. They move towards each other. They take the position of a tango, a dance we all know and understand. Chloe extends her leg backwards. Tim pulls her up into a romantic clinch. They move and turn their heads. They do some of that fancy footwork that happens in a tango and a twirl. They put their arms around each other. It's been a while for Chloe, and she finally enjoys the embrace of a man once more. Tim lifts Chloe. They do stuff on tippy toes. Tim spins Chloe under his arm and dips her. The sexual tension now palpable. They move in for a kiss with tongues. Okay, fine, stop. You two are no fun.
Actually, we're really fun.
Really fun.
I just want to do what we rehearsed. Okay.
There is now a different ending to the contemporary dance show.
No, Alice, there isn't. I'm just going to...
Music plays over the theatre stereo system. It's the 2012 song Till the World Ends by Britney Spears. Tim and Chloe sway their hips to the beat, like they're enjoying themselves. A third dancer enters the stage. The three dancers roll their shoulders back alternately. While swinging their right arm up and down to the beat, they move their hips provocatively. They cross their hands over, lift them and walk through them. Facing the side, they punch down towards the ground with one hand, then the other, then burst into a dance that looks like they're riding galloping horses, while circling their wrists around. They bust a couple of power moves and a hair flick and go into the riding horses move again. They wave their arms, hair flick, and then sashay towards the front of the stage. They sashay back with attitude, especially the front one, Alice. The lights dim and go out. The audience applauds.